Good evening and welcome to this Facebook Live session that we are doing as part of Pulse, the Venture, an upcoming business reality TV series on Network 18. Pulse the Venture is the hunt for India's next big innovative business idea, and the winner of this series will walk away with a seed funding of 1 crore rupees. The series is also our attempt to generate conversations about the Indian startup ecosystem with its various stakeholders. And today my guest is someone who decided to enter the highly fragmented furniture market in India, and his company is now a leading online retailer of furniture and home decor products. Ashish Shah, founder and COO of PEPPERFRY. Welcome to Pulse the Venture. It's a pleasure to have you join us today.
Hey, hi everyone, and thanks a lot for having me on the show.
Right. So Ashish, you're an engineer. You started out with a cushy corporate job. You were very comfortably placed in your corporate life. And then 6 years ago, you decided to give it a big shake and turn entrepreneur. So what really made you do that? And was this move born out of a personal experience?
Yeah, Mridu. So what happened was, when I was in school and, I always wanted to be, my parents taught me to be very independent, and therefore I wanted to be doing something where I am absolutely independent, So, from get-go, I have two options, either to become a doctor so that I could be, on my own, or I take up business and, set up something of my own. So, the choices were very clear, either become a doctor or, set up a business of your own. Unfortunately, could not become a doctor, and therefore, at that point of time, I just wanted to finish off my, graduation, and therefore decided to go for engineering. Right. Did not want to even waste a year at that point of time. So, I was very clear that, as soon as 12th happens, I'll go to engineering, get done with it, and then, start doing something of my own. Post which, in my first job, first two jobs, in fact, first 2 years of my career, I started working at the age of 21. Yeah. First 2 years, I used to work Monday to Friday, at an office. And then Saturday, Sunday, I would do my own business of chemicals trading. So, like I said, from get-go, I always wanted to become an entrepreneur and do something of my own.
Right.
Post which, fortunately, what happened was I got opportunities to, work for one of the best of the companies, Bazi.com, which, then became eBay. Right. While I wanted to always do something of my own, I think both the companies gave me enough opportunities. I was able to set up a large, eBay Motors business from scratch. And, kind of that was, very satisfying. I was building something from, scratch to a really large business. So when I left eBay, the business that I used to run used to be a, $100 million plus business, which we set up from scratch. Yeah. So, at that point of time, I decided that, this is the time, I have all the experience that I wanted in my life, and, time to take the plunge and, turn entrepreneur.
Yeah, and it was at eBay that you met your co-founder, Amrish. So how is it doing business with friends? Because there are a lot of people who are looking for the right co-founder and are often afraid of sort of, disrupting that equation of friendship. So how has the journey been? And do you co-founders really complement each other's skills? Give some tips to our aspiring entrepreneurs on choosing the right co-founder.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the very important things is that you need to have, startup journey is very, it has its own ups and downs, and, it is very important to have a partner, who you can talk to, at various situations, various stages of the startup journey. And therefore, getting the right co-founder is very, very important. Amrish and me used to work together at eBay also. I was, Amrish was the country manager of eBay in India, and I used to be the business head. Like you said, we complement each other, significantly. Both of us are absolutely different individuals in terms of the skills that we, bring to the table. However, there were some really common things, things like, we will be the first ones to be in the office, in the morning, last ones to go out. If there is any party, office party, we will be the last ones standing. Amrish and me we would be the last two people at any party, at eBay, Bazi, etc. So, few things, discipline, ability to work really hard, etc., were things which were really common and which, got us to become really great friends. And like I said, we complement each other significantly,
All right.
So, having the right co-founder in the startup journey is one of the most important things in my mind.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about PEPPERFRY. At what point in time did you all decide that you want to start a business in the furniture space, and why this space? Because it is a highly competitive and fragmented space in India right now. Online furniture sales honestly have not really been doing very well for the last couple of years. So what made you both get into this particular space?
Yeah, so Mridu, from the get-go, I started, my career in the year 1998. From 1999, which is the time around the first e-com bubble, 99 to 2000. From 99 to till date, I have only worked in e-commerce companies, and that is the only business that I kind of knew about. I set up large, B2B businesses in my life in the past. So typically, what happens is e-commerce, is an evolution in every country. It starts with, a queue busting business where, ticketing, etc. goes online first. It is very simple because, you make the payment online, the product is pretty standardized, and you do not need to set up any delivery setups, etc. Right? And therefore, e-commerce would typically happen with queue busting businesses. Then comes books, media, and music. That is what, every other horizontal or every other e-commerce company would have started with in any country, right? And then you come into standardized categories like mobile phones, laptops, etc. So by the time of 2009 to 2010, standard category e-commerce had already kind of taken off and was starting to happen really well. And we knew that this was the time to set up businesses for non-standard categories. Non-standard categories like fashion had already started happening, already in 2010-11. So fashion, and then we knew that non-standard categories like furniture, home, etc., are going to happen in the country.
Yeah.
So it is the evolution that
Ashish,
we got. I think from our standpoint, it was important to be in the non-standard categories. Yeah.
Yeah. But the total share of furniture in the online sales market is just about 1 to 1.5% at this point in time. So do you really believe that this is the right time for this idea?
Yeah, see, if you look at the vertical, it is when you are a vertical play, it is important that you select a vertical which is big enough. We are in a vertical. Home and furniture today is around $30 billion of overall market, right? And therefore, being in the right vertical is very important. And then it is about, when you set up business, e-commerce is all about organizing the unorganized market, right? Today, like you said, the market is looking, overall, organized market is only 10% of the overall furniture and home. But this is where the opportunity truly lies. Also, when you are building a specialized category, there are monies to be made, and therefore it was important for us to select and be in categories where we are able to create significant value for all the stakeholders and make enough money in the business.
Right.
So in my mind, the time when we started was the right time to build on these categories because fashion, etc., other non-standard categories had already started happening.
So you started out with online stores and then went on to launch brick and mortar experience stores or studios, as you like to call them. And the same model is followed by a lot of your competition as well. So what does that say about the industry? The Indian consumer is not really willing to make big investments in furniture purely without, touch and feel?
So I think the way to look at it is very different. When you talk about customers, we generally talk about customers being an online customer or an offline customer. However, customers actually behave really differently. These are the kind of channels that customers would choose at any point of time. To give you an example, someone who's buying books on, let's say, a horizontal like Amazon.com today also would buy books from Crossword or WHS when they are at the airport. So it is only the channel that a customer would choose when they are looking to make a purchase, and therefore a customer should not be classified as an online customer or an offline customer. Now coming to the home category specifically, our goal is to become an omni-channel business so that I am able to reach out to my customers whether they are present offline or they are present online. If you look at consumer behavior, what happens is there are different behaviors that consumer would display in different kinds of categories.
Right.
There is something called routine response behavior. So what happens is when a customer is looking to buy products which they have been buying in the past and they have experience of buying, the only thing that matters to them is brand and price. And therefore categories do really well even if they are not available offline. So large online businesses can be built only in standard categories.
Right.
When it comes to categories like furniture, etc., people are looking for more information, right? Because they are, brands are not fairly established, the products are not often bought, and therefore they want much more information before making a purchase decision. Right. And therefore things like offline studios, etc., help them make the right purchase decisions and take the calls when they are making a big purchase.
So would you say
and
that
therefore,
omni-channel
in my mind, categories like highly involved categories like furniture, etc.
Yeah. So would you say that omni-channel is really the only way ahead for a category like furniture, because just online or just offline is really not going to be that profitable for any business?
Yeah, absolutely. See, when I'm saying offline, I'm not talking about making transactions offline. One of the single most, proposition that we had, from the get-go is great variety and great price. In my mind, home and furniture categories can only be built with a lot of variety, because these are generally long tail categories. You would not want to have, same sofas with all the customers in a building, right?
Right.
So the categories inherently are driven by variety and value. When I talk offline, I'm only talking about giving an experience to the customers so that they can make informed purchase decisions. In my mind, a really large offline store, let's say 100,000 square feet store, can also not house more than 1,000 items, right? And therefore, a customer would be able to say, if you're in the market to buy a bed, you can see only between 8 to 10 or maximum 15 products in an offline store.
Yeah.
When you come to pepperfry.com today, you will find 450 beds to choose from. And therefore, in my mind, when we go offline, the offline is not to make sales. The offline is to ensure that we are able to provide the right amount of information and consulting to the customers so that they can make their purchase decisions really informed, when they're coming online.
So
and therefore, like I said, in my mind, online has a right to win as far as the home and furniture categories are concerned.
Right. And in your offline studios, you've adopted the franchisee model. So how are you really going to ensure quality and consistency in customer experience across your various geographies?
Yeah, so before that, let me talk you through. So in the last 2.5 years, we have now established close to 21 PEPPERFRY studios across the country. These studios are typically manned by architects and designers who would provide all sorts of consulting to the customers who are walking into the studios, right?
Okay.
And we have made all of these studios on our own. If you have visited our studios, mostly the design ethos, etc., are same. The kind of products that are displayed in the studios are also pretty much the same. The reason we are now looking at, and these studios have started doing really well for us. Close to 25% of the total transactions that happen on PEPPERFRY today, happen through customers who have visited studios at some or the other point of time, in the entire purchase cycle. So studios, therefore, are making a lot of sense for us. And therefore, what we want to do now is significantly ramp up this omni-channel experience and open, close to 20 to 25 more studios in a very short span of time. And therefore, the first goal, when we are going out the franchisee route is to, increase the speed of execution.
Right.
Also, what happens is, so that is the first reason I would go out franchising, right? The second reason is that, all the 21 studios that, we have opened till now were shortlisted and visited by us. I have personally gone before we have shortlisted any property across the country. The reason it is important is because, when you sign up a property, you are logged in for 3 years, and therefore you do not have an option to go wrong. And today, founders, all senior employees at PEPPERFRY take a lot of time, in visiting these places and shortlisting them and ensuring that they are up to the standard of what we have set for PEPPERFRY. Right? Going forward, we think that as we expand, it is important for us to get more entrepreneur power, because I do not want to open studios where there is not much control on the ground, and therefore I would want entrepreneurs to partner with us and run it like their own businesses. So that is the second reason, why I would go out franchising. So, first execution speed, the second is getting more entrepreneur power, and third, obviously, we want, the brand is established. We are the largest seller of furniture in the country, be it offline or online, and therefore we want other people to partner and invest money in our business and make a lot of money, along with us.
So in your
these are broadly the three goals, when we are growing out the franchisee route.
Right. And in your kind of business, the supply chain is really critical. So how much of the supply chain and the delivery model do you own by yourself? And are you planning to get into the logistics of other offline retailers as well?
Yeah, so very importantly, what we have done is, like I said, from get-go, our single largest proposition has been great variety and great price. All of first year, PEPPERFRY put all of their energy in ensuring that we have the best of the supplies, available online. So today, we have close to 100,000 pieces of furniture and home products along, which come from close to 3,000 suppliers across the country. So, there is no one who can show you more furniture, for example, as compared to pepperfry.com today. So that was the first goal. So along, the second goal was to ensure that we also provide a great customer experience, right? So today, as we are talking, along with building the furniture business, a large furniture business, we have also built a large logistics business. PEPPERFRY by far today is the largest B2C, big box logistics company. What I mean by that is that today PEPPERFRY owns around 400 trucks across the country. I have 17 distribution centers. I have around 250 carpenters on my rolls, who ensure that they do all the post-sale services. And I have around 1,000 people on the road, who go out and make delivery to my customers every day. What it means is that, I am in control of the entire experience from the from the time that you place an order online to the time the product is delivered and assembled at the customer's place, I'm in control of the entire process, right? As you know, today, every piece of furniture that PEPPERFRY delivers is delivered by using our own network. So we do not work with any third-party logistics provider, when it comes to fulfilling our orders on PEPPERFRY.com.
Right.
So it's a huge investment. 17 distribution centers, like I said, 400 vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just coming to that it is a lot of investment. So, and while, you've had several rounds of funding, the valuation has been going up. What's your verdict on profitability? When do you see unit economics and profitability really happening at PEPPERFRY?
No, again, I have made this, comment even earlier. In my mind, it is, first of all, it is the duty of every business to grow. When a business is not growing, people don't want to talk to you. Including the media, our customers, everyone, right? And therefore, in my mind, the first goal of the business is to grow. However, great businessmen, good businessmen also ensure that profitability and growth happens at the same point of time. You cannot say that you want to grow this year and next year you will start making money. And therefore, with 16, 17 years of experience before setting up PEPPERFRY, we were very clear from day one that profitability would always be one of the focus areas along with growth. At PEPPERFRY, every quarter we are better, in terms of the money that we make over the previous quarter. We are better in terms of, the customers that we serve using the same number of resources every quarter. So, what we look at is whether we are making more money than the previous quarter and previous month, whether we are making, our products more, cost effective as compared to the previous month.
Can
and
you
whether
share
we are doing
numbers
more from
with
the
us, Ashish?
same limited resources every month over the previous month.
Can you share specific numbers with us?
See, I can talk through some of the velocity matrix. Like I said, specific numbers in terms of the transactions that we do around 100,000 transactions every month. Typically a furniture, ASP, average selling price would be close to 17,000 to 18,000 bucks. Home would be around, 4,000 to 5,000 rupees. So, that gives you a fair amount of idea. Again, in terms of, but numbers are numbers. Private companies, people would give out, are free to give out the numbers that they want to. One of the very important metrics that we look at is the market share of all the visits that happen on PEPPERFRY today.
Right.
So, if you look at all the searches that happen for furniture online today, 62% of those searches actually land up on PEPPERFRY.com, right? So, that's supported with the fact that I have the largest variety of furniture and home products available online today. So,
Right.
I am getting maximum number of people, 62% of people on PEPPERFRY, and I have the largest variety, which means my conversion rates therefore should be higher than anyone else's conversion rate.
And what are your operating margins like?
So, that gives you fair amount of idea on what would be my market share. See, it again varies from category to category. We are today operating, between home and furniture, we operate between 35 to, sometimes 65% margins,
Right.
at the gross product margin level.
Okay, so and do you see another round of funding on the anvil? What is the expansion plan, and is there an IPO around the corner?
Yeah, absolutely. Our vision now, we have already served around 4.5 million customers, by now in the last 5 years at PEPPERFRY. We are the largest seller of furniture and home products in the country. Our next goal is, that vision that we have set for ourselves is, serving 20 million customers by 2020. And I think by that time, we would also be a, close to $1 billion company, and the time to be, kind of going out for IPO. On profitability, like I said, every month our focus is to, get closer to profitability. With the money in bank, I think we are now, inching towards profitability every month, and we should break even in my mind in, I think, 1 year and a quarter.
Okay, so breaking even in about a year and a quarter, and IPO in about 18 months?
Yeah, in about 18 to 20 months, yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, you've also made some strategic changes recently. You've started, of course, investing in offline retail. You've also now begun to stock lower priced products. Does that help profitability?
So again, PEPPERFRY continues to be on a marketplace model. If we are stocking products, they are products which are stocked in our warehouse by our suppliers, and they actually pay us warehousing charges for those products. only really fast moving items are stocked in the warehouse. Otherwise, we continue to operate on a marketplace model, which would mean that when we get an order, we go out and fetch products from the suppliers every day, and then we will ship out from our warehouse. So every piece of furniture that you ship out from Pepperfry today is quality checked at our warehouse before it is sent to the customers. So like I said, we continue to operate on a marketplace model, and with all the fast moving inventory in our warehouse.
All right, so talking about customers,
so,
here's a question
again,
that
from
has...
strategy standpoint, therefore, nothing has changed here.
Okay, so let's take our first viewer question at this point. Abhishek has asked, in a sector where the customer is very conscious of the quality as well as the pricing, does the brand have to deal with frequent cases of buyer's remorse? How do you maintain high levels of customer satisfaction?
So again, like I described, a while back, in a business where, the entire onus of quality is not on the brand, but on pepperfry.com, because like I said, we operate in non-standard categories, and therefore customers, when they buy on Pepperfry today, they buy because they are buying from pepperfry.com, and there is not much guarantee or warranty that would come from the brands. In such a scenario, it is very important for a brand like pepperfry.com to be in absolute control of the entire experience. So if you look at starting from the time the order is placed, on the site, we are the ones who will go out and pick up the products from the supplier. So we do not depend on suppliers to send the products to our warehouse. My trucks would go to, close to 300 suppliers every day, pick up products from them, and will bring them to our warehouse. Every piece of furniture or home product is also quality checked, through, specialized quality people at our warehouse. Furniture items are opened, and then they are repacked, and then they are shipped out to the customers. Again, when we ship out the products, the entire experience of quality checking, stacking the products in the warehouse, to using our own vehicles and to make the delivery, sending our own people to ensure that we are opening the items and we are assembling them. If you look at it, the entire experience today, of buying on pepperfry.com is completely controlled by us. There are no third parties involved. Okay. And therefore, in my mind, this is the control, or on the entire experience, which guarantees standard quality to the customers across the country.
Right, and your competition is also leveraging technology in a big way, getting into augmented reality, virtual reality to enhance the consumer experience. Are you venturing in that direction as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So, e-commerce businesses are about technology, a lot about technology, starting from how you use technology upstream. So, for example, I spoke about how we do logistics. We use several algorithms, and technology when we even do logistics for ourselves. For example, all the deliveries that are done using handheld technology. We use various applications to ensure that, the data is fed into the systems, and, on a real-time basis, we are able to fetch consumer feedback. When you are stacking products into the trucks, etc., all of that is also done using technology and algorithms. Picking of the products from the warehouse is also done using technology and algorithms. We use various kinds of machines. We have reach trucks which kind of fetch products from a height of seven floors from the warehouse. My warehouse in itself today, is the largest furniture warehouse in the country. It is around 350,000 square feet. Right. You can actually park, 3 Airbuses inside my warehouse. Oh, wow. State of the art, with a lot of equipments, material handling, as well as, automation equipments. So, like I said, entire business is about technology and how you use algorithms. When it comes to the consumer, interface, we are best in the, in the breed. Today we use AR, VR already, on our applications. If you go to my, Pepperfry app, you can actually select a sofa, put it in your living room. You can also change the colors of the wall, etc. So all of that is already possible on Pepperfry. Right. A lot of investments we have also done online. When we show catalogs to you. So for example, 30% of my listings today on Pepperfry can be looked at in 3D. Right. So you can tilt it, turn it, rotate it, take out the drawers before you make the purchase decision. So a lot about technology, a lot of use of technology. What my team, what the technology team is working on now is also immersive VR, where you can actually also go around the sofa to touch and feel it, without looking at it at the studio or physically. So you can do all of that online.
Okay, so lots of interesting stuff
sitting
being
at your
by
house,
Pepperfry.
you can browse through all of my studios.
All right. So let's take our next viewer question. Karthik asks, what differentiates Pepperfry from Urban Ladder? That's a question that many viewers will actually have.
Yeah. So I think it starts with the business model. Like I explained, Midhu, we are a marketplace. Our goal is to have a piece of furniture for every home in the country. Okay, and therefore it starts there. We are not about a certain segment of the customer. We are not about a certain class of people. We are about every kind of furniture in the country, and therefore, on Pepperfry today, you will find a two-door wardrobe at 3,500 rupees, and you will also find a two-door wardrobe at 150,000 rupees. So it starts there, which is great variety and great price is my single largest proposition to my customers, right? And today, therefore, we do not, when it comes to marketplace, we also do not compete with the offline, merchants. Today, right, large national players like At Home, Hometown, Nilkamal, Spacewood, all of them would be selling on Pepperfry. So we are coexisting. We are not competing with anyone. We are a marketplace. Like I said, my goal is to have a piece of furniture in every home in the country. So that's the first, I think, differentiation in terms of the model that we have built. The second is, in terms of the our ability to, do fulfillment. Like I said, we today operate the largest furniture warehouse in the country. We have a fleet of 400 vehicles. Today, Pepperfry makes deliveries in 500 cities across the country using its own proprietary big box logistics network, right?
All right.
And therefore, that is the second very big differentiator, right? And third is the brand that we have built, online as well as offline.
Okay, so a couple of those things were also mentioned by the Urban Ladder founder whom we had on this show a couple of weeks back, but the competition is fierce in this space, consolidation is bound to happen in some time. So would you consider selling out if that were ever to happen, if you were ever, given a chance to sell out and be hugely profitable? All right, looks like we've just lost that connection with the Pepperfry founder. We'll just be joining him back as soon as this technical glitch is over. Well, as you all know, Pepperfry, one of the leading players of online furniture retail in the country right now, started about 6 years ago. Two best friends from eBay decided to turn entrepreneur and came up with this idea of supplying furniture online. And now, of course, this is a category that's really taken off. Well, trying to take off, so to speak. It's still at a pretty nascent stage. A couple of competitors, big competitors there, Urban Ladder, Pepperfry, LiveSpace, to name a few. Amazon and Flipkart on their own are also, betting big on the furniture category. At this point in time, Pepperfry is investing in about 20 odd offline stores or studios, and the founder just told us they're also keen to have an IPO in about 18 months from now, looking to break even and turn profitable in about 1 year from now. All right, and now we're joined back by Ashish Shah. Ashish, we were earlier talking about consolidation in this online furniture market space, so I was going to ask you, if you were ever to get an offer of selling out and becoming hugely profitable, would you consider it?
Yeah, like I just explained, in my mind, the overall opportunity in home and furniture is really big. We are in a vertical which is a $30 billion vertical, out of which only 10% of the vertical, the space is right now, dominated by the organized players. There are a lot of brands in the country today, but no brand is dominating. In my mind, therefore, there's an opportunity to get a lot of share from the 90% of the unorganized market, and therefore, in my mind, large, billion-dollar businesses can be built. Fundamentally, I also believe that online furniture and home has the right to win in the category for the reasons of, like, these categories requiring a lot of real estate, offline space if you have to build large businesses. From a 2,000 square feet studio, for example, in some of the, locations in Mumbai today, we do a really large business that is unheard of. So my 2,000 square feet studio today drives more business than probably, 150,000 square feet studio of any other offline retailer. So my point is that large businesses can be built, large billion-dollar businesses can be built, and therefore we find this opportunity to be, out there, and we would want to make the most out of it. So not looking for any exits.
But eventually, do you see just 2 or 3 big players making it really big in this space?
No, it is going to be. It is going to be about, I think today when it comes to online furniture, PEPPERFRY.com is a household name, I think in a very short time. Like I said, the opportunity is very big, and therefore, I think we would love to, also when we look at the business, we look at only creating value. In my mind, we have created a lot of value in the last 5 years, having the largest supply. We have the largest network of logistics, which is required very importantly for the business. We have great abilities to build catalogs using technology. So we are focused right now in creating value. I think that is the focus that an entrepreneur should have. I think valuations, etc., would follow.
All right.
Right now, only focused on building a great value for all the stakeholders. As far as we are concerned.
Okay, so you're saying to all our aspiring entrepreneurs out there, focus on creating value and not on the valuation. But how important is valuation really at PEPPERFRY?
Absolutely. No, they are not. Like I said, today, if you are in a business which gets you close to 50% margins, when, on a weekend, when I see a lot of sales, I speak to my head of, business, I tell him, people are paying us 50% margins, and therefore, I think we have truly created a value. And then it is about the scale, right? I think with growth, you will get a lot of economies of scale, and then your profitability will therefore continue to increase. I think we are one of the most growth-ready companies, in the e-commerce space. We have everything built out, and as soon as the growth happens, I think we'll be the first ones to turn profitable. So like I said, continue to focus on creating value, not worry about how valuations will pan out.
Okay, so here's another question from a viewer, Manish Kumar. He asks, why did you call it PEPPERFRY?
Yeah, very interesting. So, both Amrish and me, worked with large multinational companies in the past. When we were setting up PEPPERFRY, we set up PEPPERFRY with 3 important values, which is being Indian, truly Indian, being very honest, and we want to also have fun while we are on this journey. So, when it comes to, India, people talk about spices, and pepper is something that, people have been coming to India for a long time. It is also a spice which is very honest. It is black and white. It has a very distinct taste, so you can figure out whether there is a pepper in the food or not, at all points of time. And therefore, the name pepper was very clear in our head. We also wanted to have a lot of fun in this journey, which was our third value. And therefore, we said that, when you fry pepper, it kind of pops up. And therefore, we, got to the name of PEPPERFRY.com at that point of time. Okay. Having said that, when you are setting up, you are also, kind of very random. You have this luxury of, choosing the name that you want to. Yeah. And, all the name PEPPERFRY.com, therefore, absolutely resonated, when we were looking to be Indian, honest, and, have fun in the journey.
All right. So let's play a quick rapid fire right now, Ashish. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. You can't take too long to answer. Think on your feet, be spontaneous, sure, and go quickly, right? So let's start. Valuation or profitability, what's more important?
Sure. Profitability any day.
Biggest competitor?
Unorganized market. I think the carpenter out there.
Okay. Your favorite failure?
A lot of them. We pride ourselves to be making, the number of mistakes that we make. I think, the journey is all about making mistakes and learning from them.
One favorite failure?
So, love to take risks and make mistakes. Trying to, so I would say, did miserably in terms of logistics when we started up.
Okay.
Trying to, rely on third party is not the place to be. I think that would be our, biggest mistake.
All right. Biggest milestone?
Like I said, 20 million customers by 2020 is our next stop.
Okay. One thing that PEPPERFRY has that its competition definitely does not.
Intensity. Ability to do more with the resources that you have every day, every hour.
All right. One startup that has truly impressed you in recent times, apart from your own, of course.
Startup, a lot of respect for competition out there. Urban Ladder, Rent to Mojo, Home Lane, all are great businesses. Tons to learn from everyone.
Okay, you're being very diplomatically correct.
Practo again is a great business. Yeah.
All right. A number that you're chasing today.
Yeah. No, I would also add few names. Book My Show is favorite site, cleartrip.com. Great businesses love to use their apps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, a number that you're chasing today.
A number that I'm chasing today, I think every additional margin that I could add, every week to the business.
All right, and finally,
right now, absolutely focused on improving profitability of the business.
Okay, and finally, one word vision for the company.
Customer experience, that is what drives PEPPERFRY.com, and therefore Net Promoter Score is something that we are really, really passionate about. Everyone at PEPPERFRY.
All right, thank you, Ashish Shah. Thank you so much for joining us today on this special Facebook Live session that's a part of Pulse the Venture, a series that's coming up on Network 18. And thank you, viewers, for joining us for this Facebook Live session. Keep watching this space for more updates on starting up and on Network 18's big hunt for India's most innovative business idea, the winner of which walks away with a seed funding of 1 crore rupees. Thanks for joining us today. Goodbye.